Hello, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here then hi! I got this off Temu. It's most likely a knockoff from something. I thought I'm going to give it a try. Now, I did try it on Sunday's Live, and this time I wanted to try a thinner version and a thicker version, just to see if there was any difference, and just to see if, well, as you saw in the frog, I've put some UV not glow in the dark, fluorescent powder mix into my mould. Now, they say you cannot stick casting powder to resin, but you can stick resin to casting powder. So I'm hoping for this to work, but I have no idea. I'm actually expecting a huge fail. And I'm using Resin Crate pigment for the casting powder. I've had these a while and I didn't know what to do with them, and I wasn't sure if these would work either, and I've put way too much green in. I think I have anyway. This is not just the first bit. I think I had more. But I don't know, I quite like it. I add black to it as well, I think. Yeah, I do add black to it. So at this point, I'm not expecting great things. I'm also expecting to break the legs, because I've done casting powders before and I've always broken the legs, which is how I knew you could fix it, by sticking resin on the top without taking it out of the mould. So yeah, here's me adding more. Yeah. So it's now gone from a sagey green to a darker sagey green until I add the black, then it's even more dark. So I kind of left the black, I just sort of mixed it in as a little marbly type effect. It didn't come out like that though. But I am using, what is that stuff I'm using? I keep forgetting what that is called. I am just going to get it out of my drawer now. Did you hear that? It is called Game Colour Black. And I have no idea if it's an alcohol ink. No, it can't be. A pigment paste. It's Vallejo. I don't even know where I've got this. And of course, I can't read the tiny writing because, well, I'm blind as a bat. So yeah, I'm filling it up. As you can see, the black's mixing as I'm pouring it, so that didn't work. But as for filling it up, that were easy enough. I did kind of overpour a bit, but as with most casting powders, you can just snap them bits off. I mean, obviously, toes, you have to be really careful around the toes. Am I careful around the toes? No, I'm not careful around the toes. Because I'm just to chuck stuff in and hope and pray that everything works for the best. I don't know what I'll pray to because, well, I'm not religious at all. Maybe the moon gods, I don't know. But yeah, at the bottom I've got lots of lumps where I've just not mixed it in properly. My fault completely. And I've just found a bit at the bottom there that's dropped in, so I've squished that down. But once you've squished it aside at the pot, it's fine, no problem. And I'm filling it up right to the top. And I did not do a jumping up and down thingy. I didn't squish it and squash it and wiggle it about because basically, again, toes. I didn't want it all jumping out. Jumping out. Frog. Hop hop. Oh dear. I think I need some sleep again. It is late. But you can see I've made a mess. It's just all over the place. Now I'm trying to fill up the toes with the last remaining bits. As you can see, it's not quite filled up. Which I do end up having to make some more, so I'm going to have to put that on top. And I think I make this one a bit too dark. It's definitely a different colour than the one I started with. And I am being so tight. I'm trying to get as much out as possible. I will say now, I do like this powder. To me, if it is the knockoff version, then it's very much like the knockoff version, and it makes me wonder if we're all being conned, and that when they're not getting enough sales, they stick it into different bags and call it something else, because it's just a bit odd. Feels the same, looks the same, does the same. The only error with this is that I put way too much pigment in it and I didn't mix it properly, but it definitely feels the same, because when I first tried it I loved it, and I love this. So yeah, you draw your own conclusions. Conclusions? I mean, we all know that I'll chuck that straight in. Some cereal is knockoff, but it's actually the real thing, just packaged something different. So, you never know. So there I go, chucking it in. Too much. Way too much. Then I drop the thing in. So now I've got it up my nails. My once clean nails are now green, because this pigment dye really dyes. Yeah, I've managed to get it off my hands, but getting it from underneath my nails, it's caught the beds, so it's stained the beds of my nails. And before anyone says you need to use gloves, no you don't, not with casting powder. I can't wear them anyway. Oh, nearly knocked my frog. So yeah, that's definitely a different colour, definitely. And I've made it too thick here. I think I've done it on purpose though, try and get as many lumps out as possible, because you can always add a bit more water if you need to, or you can add a bit more powder if you need to, if it's too thin. So it's like a cake batter, and I don't measure anything, because numbers confuse me. And I've said before, when I've done cakes, go by the recipe, complete fail. Do it by my own eye, brilliant. Again, except for Yorkshire puddings. Oh, me and them blooming Yorkshire puddings. But anywho, I'm now going to finish filling up this frog, and then I'm going to dump, you see this is a bit thicker now, I'm going to dump the rest into the little frog. But I'm not going to do much to the little frog. There you go, look, chucking it everywhere, because I'm scruff. And then the little frog, all I'm going to do is just colour his eyes, that's it. But it's the big frog, I want to know if it worked. I want to know if it's stuck to the actual casting powder, because I'm sure it's this way it's not supposed to work. So I half expect the UV resin, I think it's UV, yeah it is UV, to stick to the mould and come away from the casting powder. And I've still got more of this left, so I'm going to fill up some frames. It don't matter them being green, because I quite like the idea of them being green. I mean, some of the frames can be for a garden room or a gallery. I do need to make some rooms up at some point, because I really like the miniatures, I do. Sometimes it just takes your brain away from everything, being able to having to concentrate on something small. I mean, I love resin and I love casting powder and I love painting, and I like doing everything, but the minis, that's something I really love. But I need to do everything at once, I think. I can't just focus on one thing. My brain don't work that way. But this frame, I love this frame. It's really nice. And there's some little flowers in the bottom of the frame that you can fill up just to add to the rest of the flowers on there, make them more a bit 3D. I think they're a bit tiny. I think I might want to put clay in there actually, that might work a bit better. But I'm going to also do, what am I going to do? A rectangle frame. And obviously I've poured too much in it, so now I'm trying to scrape it out. And it's not working with this thing at all. But, You still try, don't you? I found this way worked a bit better, just scraping it across. And notice my frog's a bit piddly. Can't speak again. But there's going to be a little frame and possibly a little skull. Because yeah, it's the skull I do. It's because I've done quite a few of these this week. I'm forgetting which ones I've done. But this I will give it a bit of a squeeze because it's got eye holes. You do need to make sure it's not eye holes but eye pokey outs, so that you do get eye holes. Oh dear, I'm waffling like a muppet today. So yeah, that one did need a squeeze. And I've got a little bit left over just to do some more frames. Plus, if you saw Tuesday's video, I did some frames and added Leslie's paintings in them. Oh, they're so cute. I love them. You can't actually see what I'm doing here. I did not realise. I think I'm filling up a frame. Yes, there we go. That's what I was doing. I'm trying to find the frame before this all started to set. And it is starting to go off. You can feel how thick it's getting because it's taking so long to pour. And again, still got some left. I'm going to give that one a quick squidgy because it's got quite a lot of detail in it. A lot of detail. So now I'm just going to chuck this last bit into this mould and that'll be done. Shouldn't be able to get it in anymore. And these ones, they're quite alright. These ones, they're alright for mirrors, little mirrors. Use a chrome pen on the oval on the inside and Bob's your uncle. Or you could use a bit of foil. Trying to think what else you can use to make a mirror. An actual mirror. Because you can get little mirror size, little mirror circles and ovals to fit into things. But I like to make minis from scratch using any kind of trash that I've got around the house, which there is quite a collection going on. I need to make a room. Definitely, that's definitely on my next to-do list. Like, not to do with the Burton house, but something completely separate that I can just do from my imagination, not somebody else's. Although I do use my imagination with him. Shut up. Look, green nails. Yep, totally green nails. Now, I shouldn't have put that skull on top of there before it had dried. Can you see it? Did you see it? The skull's brilliant. I do love the skull. But can you see that circle? That's where the skull was. So this pigment's not very good when it's not dry. Yeah. Seeing as I've only just emptied them out, I started demolding them and I've completely forgot. I should be on camera doing this. But hopefully, luckily, that it wasn't the frogs I was doing. I kind of half opened the little frog. Now, would you believe the little frog is so much easier to open up, demold, than the big one? They're from Sunday. Now, I'm going to leave that one for a minute because it's this one. Like I said, I've already started pulling the rubber bits, silicone bits, and it's already started getting some of the frog out. And this frog is so much easier. Now, if that mould at the side, the bigger one, was shaped like this one, which you look at them and think they are the same, they are not. You can get the hips out a lot better. And then the head just went pop. Didn't even have to pull it. Now, this hasn't broken at all, but the colourant is motley. But I like it. I really do like it. It's like a speckled frog. Oh my god, that's a song. One little speckled frog sat on a speckled log. Oh, don't get your day job. Ay. I apologise for singing. But that one, it's just a little bit in between some of the toes. I need to just give it a quick file. And that one's brilliant. So I'm thinking, oh great, that one's turned out fab. Maybe this one will too. Meh. Okay. You're gonna know what's gonna break. You just know it, don't you? I mean, you can see straight away it's gonna lose something. But what's it gonna lose? But again, it is not the casting powder. It be me. And there's toe number 1. Now, this hip came out quite good. It's not a hip, is it? It's the knee. Knee, yes. And I'm trying to be really careful because I'm like, oh god, I'm going to snap the toes. And now I'm going to snap the toes. And no toe snapping. And the next one, what do you think? How many toes? 1, 2 or 3? Nope. Not yet. How many toes on this one? 1, 2 or 3. Oh, there goes 1. And silly me did not think to line up the toes so I'd remember which one belonged to which. Because I did super glue them back on. You can barely tell. Oh, there goes number 2 on that hand. But toes, hands don't have toes. So yeah, that's 2 off there. So what's that in total? That's 3. 1, 2, 3 toes. Still not finished though, have I? No. I think I have to put on 4 toes altogether. Yeah. And then for some strange reason, that 4th toe decided to fall on the floor. And I had to rummage around for it because I could not see. But I did find it, so that's all good. But taking this out without trying to catch any other toes. Such a nightmare. But look at that. It worked. There is not one bit of resin left in the frame except for that toe. That toe needed to go back on. But look at that. It fit on. It brilliant. I mean, you can see the black marbling sort of in the back, but it's not great. What I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the toes on, and then we're going to get some light on the job because it should glow with a UV light on it, and it should be really bright. So, like I said, I'm going to glue the toes on, and job's a good one. But I'm going to show you it lit up now. That light needs battery, it needs charging, so it's not very bright. So I decided to use the other one. So I'll leave you with this. Enjoy the glow, and I'll show you the pictures of it when it's done at the end. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.
Shadows light the thing, goth unicorn with a blackened wing. Happy she dances under moonlit nights, creating beauty, spurring on delight. Her hooves tap softly to the softest bells, crafting wonders in her secret spells. From threads of silver and whispers bright, a tapestry woven in the dark of night. Her hooves tap softly to the softest bells, crafting wonders in her secret spells. From threads of silver and whispers bright, a tapestry woven in the dark of night. gentle